All right. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Allow me to make this very video. Yahweh being the true name of the Most High, Bahashem meaning in the name of, and Yahweh Shai being the true name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. And, basically this video, I don't want it to be too long, but I want to approach two topics, right? Firstly, the topic of, there are many Hebrews. There are many Hebrews, not just the Israelites. There are many Hebrews, not just the Israelites. Okay? And then the second topic, the topic of fallen angels, which is garbage. It's damnable heresy. It's, really demonic. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking weird. It's a fable, It's a cunningly devised fable. It's falsehood, as you read in the book of Peter. But I want to approach those two topics. All right? Basically, these are two topics that came up when I was out there on the highways yesterday. You had somebody come up talking about, well, we exchanged some words, but he was talking about we all Hebrews. I'm like, nope, that shit is wrong. We're not all Hebrews, right? Everybody that come out the line of Ham, they're not Hebrews, right? The people that come out of the line of Japheth are not Hebrews. The people that come out of the line of Shem early on, right? Like Shem's first two sons, right? Shem is not a Hebrew. Noah's not a Hebrew. Everybody before Shem, they're not Hebrews, all right? Shem had Arphaxad, not a Hebrew. Arphaxad had Salah, not a Hebrew. And then Salah had Eber, okay? Now, everybody that descends, right, after Eber are Hebrews, okay? So everybody that descends, and we're going to go into Genesis, the 5th chapter. And Paul, he talked about this, right? I'm going to get it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 5. Genesis, the 5th chapter. So there's many Hebrews. There's Genesis 5, right? And, no, it's Genesis 10. Damn, my bad. It's Genesis, really 11, right? Genesis 11 chases the chosen seed line, who are known as the sons of God, all right? This is Genesis 11, and we're going to start at verse 10. These are the generations of Shem, right? Oh, wait, let me not start there. What is it, like 26? What chapter was it? Was it chapter 10? I think it was chapter 10. Yeah, it was chapter 10. Genesis chapter 10, right? Verse 21. Unto Shem, all right, Noah, remember, this is after the flood. So it's just Noah and his 3 sons and their sons, right? Unto which, populate the earth today. So everybody today either comes from Shem, Ham, or Japheth. What line you descend from is important. It does matter. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber. Okay? Shem is the father of all the children of Eber. Okay? Which all the children of Eber, basically are Hebrews. Right? Everybody that comes after Shem himself is not a Hebrew. The Hebrews are everyone that comes on the line of Eber, after Eber, right? That descends from the line of Eber, right? Which Eber comes from Shem, and because Eber's father was Salah, right? And Salah was Shem's son. It's all, you go through the whole line, The brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were born children. All right? The children of Shem, Elam, the Elamites, right? And Ashur, the Assyrians, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram, the Aramites, right? Damascus. So again, none of these men are Hebrews, right? You have to go to Genesis 11 now, because this is Genesis 10, right? Genesis 11, everybody who descends from Eber specifically are Hebrews. Genesis 10 and let's start at verse 14. Well, Arphaxad, right? That was Shem's son, right? One of his 5 sons. Arphaxad had Salah, and then Salah had who? Eber. Now, when you go into the Hebrew word for Eber, all right, it will literally tell you, let me do that basically all the Hebrews, because Abraham, he wasn't an Israelite, but he was called a Hebrew, right? And was that? I think it's Genesis 14. He was called a Hebrew, so he was a Hebrew because he came out the line of Eber. All right? Now, let's go into the word Eber. Okay? Eber, Iber, right? Let's go into the Hebrew lexicon. Right here. Read the full entry. All right, it's a lot, so you're really gonna have to search. Right? Really gonna have to search. Right? Let me see. Right, Eber, right there. The ancestor of the race of the Hebrews. See that? Abraham was a Hebrew, man. You see? So there's many Hebrews, right? Now Abraham, right? Notice, Abraham had Ishmael as a son. his literal son. So Ishmael, right? The Ishmaelites, which are Arabs, they're Hebrews. You see? They're Hebrew Ishmaelites, right? Who comes out of the line of Abraham as well. Esau, the Edomites are Hebrew. They're Hebrew Edomites. You see that? And we are Hebrew Israelites, right? Lot came out of, the line of Eber as well, right? Lot had who? Moab and Ammon, the Moabite. They're Hebrew Moabites, Hebrew Ammonites. The Assyrians, they're not Hebrews. Okay, so you just really got to chase the line, but I thought I would bring this out, Thought I would bring this out. So everybody after the line of Eber are Hebrews, man, right? So let me go to Philippians 3, because Paul talked about this, right? Philippians 3 and verse 4. Though I might also have confidence in the flesh, if any man thinketh that he hath whereof he might rush in the flesh. He's not talking about walking in the actual flesh. He's talking about like your, bloodline. I more circumcised the 8th day. Okay? Because, Paul grew up in the Jewish customs, right? Of the stock of Israel. So he's a literal Israelite. Of the tribe of Benjamin, here's the point. In Hebrew, of the Hebrews. Because there's many Hebrews, man. Hebrew Moabites, Hebrew Edomites, Hebrew Ishmaelites. Hebrews, they that descend from Eber. So we're not all Hebrews. Hebrew Israelites, right? And Hebrew of the Hebrews, man. As such in the law of Pharisee. See that? Can't make. But as I was saying, Paul was a Hebrew of the Hebrews because he was a Hebrew Israelite, not a Hebrew Edomite. The Hebrew Edomites, they're damned. Okay? But, the Hebrew of the Hebrews, man. So I thought I'd do a quick video on this, man. And then nextly, the topic of fallen angels, right? Now, I got, a tab here, all right? Fallen angel, because, you got to get the understanding of what this bullshit ass shit is about. Fallen angels are angels who were expelled from heaven. The literal term fallen angel does not appear in any Abrahamic religious text, but it is used to describe angels cast out of heaven, which is no such thing. Such angels are often described as corrupting humanity by teaching forbidden knowledge or by tempting them into sin. And I'm pretty sure they get into like Genesis 6, right? So what else can we fucking find? Because, they believe this happened, at least the Christians, they believe that this bullshit happened before humanity, which is garbage, right? There's no such thing as fallen angels, right? No, first off, let's understand that the Most High, right? Everything the Lord does comes in pairs. It comes in a balance, right? Yahweh Shemiel Shai is a balance. Let me get the Apocrypha real quick, right? Ecclesiastes 33, right? And let me start at verse 14. Nope, that's the wrong verse. Should be verse 15, maybe. Yep, verse 15. So look upon all the works of the Most High. Look at everything the Most High does. And there are 2 and 2, one against another. The Most High made light and dark, perfect balance, 2 and 2. Sweet and bitter, 2 and 2, perfect balance, right? So again, the Most High is a perfect balance, right? He kills and he wounds. I'll give you an example of his balance. Let's get Deuteronomy 32. Okay? Deuteronomy 32 and 39, right? He's a perfect balance. See now that I am he, the Most High, and there is no God with me. He's the only God. I kill, so he kills. But he doesn't only kill. That'll be a false balance, right? And I make alive. Perfect balance. I wound and I heal. He'll wound you, but he'll also heal you if you ask. Perfect balance. Neither are there any that can deliver out of my hand. Perfect balance. Okay? And you can find this all throughout the scriptures, man. The Lord is a perfect balance, right? Because, false balance is an abomination to the Lord, right? If the Lord only kills, but he doesn't make nobody, if he doesn't make alive, that's a false balance. A false balance is abomination to the Lord. But a just weight is his delight, right? And the Lord is a just weight. He's a just balance. That's Proverbs 16, right? In 9 or 11, maybe. He's a perfect balance, man. When he formed the earth, he did it in a balance. Isaiah 40, maybe like 29-ish, around there. Everything the Lord does in a balance, okay? It comes in pairs. There's another precept about this in Ecclesiastes should be 42, right? Ecclesiastes 42, verse 24. All things are double, one against another, and he hath made nothing imperfect. Everything is a balance. So you got good and evil, perfect balance. And as we were just about to read in Ecclesiastes 33, the good is set against the evil, man. Perfect balance. When you go back to Ecclesiastes 33, I was about to read it, right? The good is set against the evil, man. So the sinner against the godly, perfect balance. Okay? So the Lord has good angels, But that will only also mean he has evil angels too. Let me prove that to you. Let's go to 1 Kings, right? Because there's no such thing as no damn fallen angels. Don't you know all the angels, good and evil, they fear the Lord, right? And it's like you Christians are so stupid sometimes, man, because like, how you read in the New Testament and you just let it fly right over your head that the demons were afraid of Yahushua. Every time he came around, they were afraid of him. They were begging him, don't torture us, don't torment us before the time. Nigga, they were afraid of the Son of the Most High, who have received power from the Most High. If they're afraid, if they're batshit shitting themselves afraid of the Son, how much for the Father, who gives the Son the authority he has on the earth? And Yahushua was not glorified, man. So these people believe that Yahushua is going to return and fight some damn spiritual demon Satan, which himself being an angel, an evil angel, a son of God, but on the evil side. He's a son of God, but on the evil side. I'm going to show it to you. Right? So, again, you believe the spiritual demon Satan, which they fear the Most High. They fear Yahushua. He going to fight demons and kill him and save you from your sins. Just shut the fuck up, man. But when you read into, they're afraid of him. The Son, not the Father, the Son. Unbelievable. So you just read over that. Then Mark 5. Come on now, dog. Remember how that nigga said, come on, man. I remember who it was. I don't know his name. Damn, what's I about to get? Oh yeah, 1 Kings. No, let me get 2 Chronicles 18. Okay. In verse 18. And the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, did I not tell you that he would prophesy good unto me? That he would not, prophesy good unto me, but evil? Now this is Micaiah, the prophet speaking. Micaiah. Again, he said, so he saw a vision, right? Therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, the Lord, the Father, sitting on his throne, and all the hosts, the word host means armies, all the armies of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. Not just on the right hand, that's the good side, and on his left, the evil side. Why do you think Yahushua sits on the right hand side of the Most High? Don't you know that Yahushua himself is an angel, according to Hebrews 1? He's an angel, but he's a right-hand angel. But there's also left-handed angels, evil angels, man. Spiritual name is Satan. Obviously, he's the general of the left-hand side. You see what I'm saying? So, again, and you know, this is like, come on. Let's go to Job 23. The Most High works on the left-hand side. All the evil that goes on the earth is the Most High. Job 23. In verse 8, behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. Verse 9 was the point. On the left hand side, where he, the Most High, doeth work. Don't you know the Lord works on the left-hand side, which is the evil side? And the right-hand side is the good side. But I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. So the left hand, the Lord works, man. On the left-hand side. The evil angels, man. And we see this because we go to Psalm 78, right? Psalm 78. We're going to go back to 2 Chronicles. But let me get this first, right? Dealing with, you know, when we were in ancient Egypt, the furnace of affliction, right? Psalm 78. The Lord was sending plagues on them. You should already know that. Everybody knows that. But how? Psalm 78:49. He, the Most High, cast upon them, the Egyptians, the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble. How? By sending evil angels among them. Evil angels. Now, an angel, right, Hebrews 1, it should be like maybe 6 or 7, 8, no, maybe 4. Around there. An angel is just a spirit. An evil spirit, evil angel, same thing. Okay? The Lord sent. Now, when you send something or someone, they're sent on your behalf. That means they were already in heaven, sent with a commandment. Right? Why? Because, let's get Psalms 103. Verse 20. All the angels do his commandments. Don't you know that? Blessed be Yahweh, the Lord, ye his angels. It's not specifying. It's saying right-hand angels, righteous angels. All the angels, the evil ones and the good ones, on the right hand and the left hand, that excel in strength, that do his commandments. Now, when you go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 18th chapter, all the evil angels, man, right? The deaf angels, the Yahweh, the Most High was sent into Egypt. They brought down the fierce commandments of the Lord, man. Right? Now, specifically Wisdom of Solomon 18, that's talking about Yahushua, right? Because he was, you know, essentially the primary deaf angel. But the point being made, they bring the commandment of the Lord. So these evil angels receive commandment from the Lord. Before anything takes place on the earth, any death, any tragedy, there's always a heavenly council that takes place. Even Yahweh before Yahweh came down to earth as a baby, do you know that there was a heavenly council? There had to be. John 6, I came down from heaven not to do mine own will, but to do the will of him that sent me. So he came down with a mission, hearkening unto the voice of his word, because they fear his word. They fear him, man. So all the angels, plural, excel in strength and do his commandments, which you're going to read that in 2 Chronicles 18, right? So Micaiah, not Micah, Micaiah, he saw angels standing on the right-hand side, the good angels, and the left-hand side, the evil angels. And the Lord said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? So this is what the Lord wanted to be done. What angel is going to accomplish this? And one spake, saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. So you got these different spirits, these different angels. Like, I got this idea, I got that idea. Then came there out a spirit, which is an angel, and stood before the Lord, and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, mind you, all things are written for our learning. Right? Ecclesiastes 1:9, there's no new thing under the sun. And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. Now, this is obviously an evil spirit, a lying spirit. It's an evil angel, an evil spirit. So all the false prophets that was telling Ahab to go to war, because when you get the context of the story, Ahab is trying to figure out if he should go to war or not, right? And all hit the prophets, which were obviously false prophets, they're telling him, look, the Lord said, go, go. These are evil spirits on these false prophets, man. Evil angels on these false prophets acting as a lying spirit. And the Lord said, what? You're going to prevail. You're going to do it. You're going to succeed. Go and do it, man. He gave him the permission. This is way after humanity. Remember, in this false doctrine, they believe that before humanity, you had fallen angels, madness. You see, this is way after Muhammad. Come on, man. So how are there even evil spirits, evil angels in heaven, right? And why are they hearkening? Again, they hearken to the voice of the Lord. They do his commandments, man. They're not going to rebel against him. Now, therefore, behold, the Lord, I put a lying spirit, an evil spirit, in the mouth of these thy prophets. And the Lord has spoken evil against you. See that? So, again, this is for our learning, man. Evil spirit, evil angel, same goddamn thing. Because they do his commandments, man. Because they fear him. Okay? They do his commandments. And they fear him, man. Let's go to 2 Samuel. This is all written for our learning. No, it's 1 Samuel 16, right? When the Holy Spirit departed from King Saul, what was the first thing that happened to him? 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, left him, once Samuel anointed David as king. And an evil spirit, an evil angel, from who? From the earth, because, you know, they're not in heaven, right? From the Lord troubled him. From the Lord. From the Lord. All caps. So understand who's in control here, man. The Most High Yahweh, man. And Yahweh Shai, let's get this, let's grab this, right? 1 Peter chapter 3. Don't you know all the angels in heaven, right? Because Yahweh Shai completed his mission, and, you know, he completed his mission coming down, preaching repentance to the nation of Israel, seeking a lost sheep, and goddamn, you know, being a sacrificial lamb. Ultimately, that was the mission. He completed his mission, therefore he was rewarded, man, with a kingdom. He's waiting to come back to set up that kingdom. But don't you know, all the angels in heaven, now that we know there's evil and good angels, they're subject to Yahushua. Don't you know that? They're under his authority. 1 Peter 3:21. The like figure whereunto even baptism doeth also now save us, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh. Right, so dipping your eyes in water is not the baptism, but the answer of a good conduct towards God, toward the Most High. So that's the baptism of the word, which is the water, baptized in your mind. You have a pure, basically, none of us have a pure mind, but basically it starts with your mindset. You have to wash your mind, man, right? With sincerity. You have to be sincere about repentance. But here's the point. By the resurrection of Yahushua Mashiach, here's the point. Who, Yahushua, right? Who is gone into heaven and is on the right hand of God. He's a good angel. Angels, all other angels, and authorities and powers being made subject unto him. All the angels in heaven are under Yahushua. He's the highest. Don't you know Yahushua is an angel? He's the highest ranking angel. On the right hand, not the left hand. On the right hand. See that? But as we read, the Lord works on both sides. And we just saw it, man. All those false prophets that were had demons on them, those demons were from the Lord. The Lord gave them the permission to succeed. You see? All those, the evil spirit, the demon, same thing. Demon, evil spirit, evil angel, right? Devil. That was on King Saul, was from the Lord. They did his commandments, right? So those false prophets were how? Deceived because the Lord put those demons on them. Job 12, verse 16. With him, with the Most High, is strength and wisdom. The deceived, a person that is deceived, and the deceiver, person deceiving you, which will be a false prophet, are his, belong to the Lord. The deceived person and the person deceiving they belong to the Lord. So the person that is doing the deceiving has demons on him from the Lord, man. You can't make this up. So understand who's in power, right? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. See what I'm saying? So like, there's this fallen angel crap. Mind you, everything I'm reading, let's go to Job 2. This is after humanity. Job 2 and verse 1. And again, there was a day when the sons of God, the angels, not like the lineage of the sons of God, the angels, came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. How is he in heaven? How is he in heaven? Satan is a son of God. He's an angel, but an evil angel. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? Where are you coming from? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro on the earth. This proves they're not omnipresent. And from walking up and down in it. See that? And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth? So again, Satan said he was walking up and down the earth, man. Jumping on niggas. A lot of people got demons on him, man. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God, and escheweth evil, right? He avoids evil. And still he holdeth fast in integrity, although thou movest me against them to destroy him without cause. Right. Context start of chapter 1. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give void life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse you to your face. So Satan, like, look, when you get the context, Satan, like, look, the only reason Job fears you and, reverences you is because he has abundance. You keep blessing him. Take away all his blessing, he's going to curse you. See that? And now he's saying, touch his literal flesh, he's going to curse you. Right? Because the Most High took all his abundance. He killed his kids in Job 1. Took all his abundance, his camels and stuff. Verse 6, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in your hand, but save his life. He is in your hand, but save his life. But save his life. Satan is hearkening to the voice of the Lord, doing his commandment. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore blows from the sole of his foot and on down. Right, so if I caught a disease tomorrow, that was an evil spirit. You know that, right? If I caught blisters, growing on my foot out of nowhere, that's an evil spirit. Okay? So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, from the heavens. So, again, Satan had a boundary that he could not pass. You can't kill him. And how do we know that? Satan killed his kids. Because the Most High didn't say, in Job 1, Satan killed Job's kids. The Most High didn't say, don't kill him or his kids. So he killed his kids. The Most High is very, very specific when he speaks. So but he couldn't kill Job. If he had a boundary he couldn't pass, that means he hearkens to the commandment of the Lord, the same with all the other demons. James chapter 2. Mind you, everything we're reading, this is after humanity, right? And this false doctrine, fallen angels, is before humanity. I mean, I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know, and I don't care. I don't want to know. James 2 and 19. Thou believest that there is one God. Thou doest well. The devils, evil spirits, also believe and tremble. Don't you know, right now as I'm making this video, in the heavens, you have the Most High Yahweh on his majestic throne, and then Yahweh Shai sitting at his right hand, or maybe, most likely sitting. Some scriptures say sitting, standing, and then on the right-hand side is an army of angels, the good angels, right, that minister for the elect or, for the righteous. And on the left-hand side is an army of evil angels, man. Do you understand this? And whenever there's a council, whenever something takes place on the earth, before it happened, there was a council. If a girl gets followed home by some widow, there was a heavenly council that took place. The Lord said, who's going to raise up this man, right, to follow this girl home and do what I want done? I got this idea. Now I got this idea. No, I don't like your idea. No, I don't like that. Okay, your idea, I like that idea. You shall succeed. Then that evil spirit, or maybe a legion of them. In Mark 5, a man had a legion of demons on him, man. Right? And they feared Yahushua. So maybe one spirit or a legion of them, man. They come down, jump on a man. What do demons do? They plant thoughts. Job 13:2, right? Daniel 10, they plant thoughts. So the thought, before you do anything, it starts with a thought. They plant thoughts, right? They carry out your steps. Man's going to the Lord. So that man, he young enough following that girl home, man. No, that was the Lord just working through him to bring judgment on that girl. This is the God that we're dealing with, man. Okay? Let's go to 2nd Ezra 8. So this fallen fucking angel garbage, we see evil angels performing his commandments, fearing him, and going up and down in heaven. So this is madness. 2nd Ezra 8. No angel will ever rebel against the Most High. They fear him. Nigga, they fear the Son. What the fuck do you think man means to the Father? 2nd Ezra 8:21. Whose throne, the Most High's throne, is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the armies of angels, plural, good and evil, stand with trembling. See that? So you can't get around it, man. You know? So again, now let's go to Genesis 6, which is where this garbage comes from. Genesis 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God, stop, who were the sons of God, right? Sometimes the sons of God can be the literal lineage starting from Adam. Sometimes angels. And what we read earlier, it was angels in Job 2, right? The sons of God, all right? Which, that lineage was the chosen seed line that was upon the earth. You had other nations, but the chosen seed line, which were called the sons of God, it started with Adam. Okay, let me get Luke 3. It started with Adam. And Adam had Cain and Abel. Remember, you know how the Lord, right? You had Abraham, right? He had Isaac and Ishmael, right? Who was the lineage passed down through? Isaac. Ishmael was kicked out literally, promise-wise and literally kicked out. The Lord does not change. It's been the same thing since the beginning. Adam, it started with Adam, right? Because Adam was not the literal first man, but he was the first man to receive instruction, to receive wisdom, to receive the law, statutes, commandments. Okay? So Adam had Cain and Abel. The chosen seed line continued through Abel. So Abel was the son of God, essentially. Cain, 1 John 3:12, was the wicked seed line. He was not no son of God. Cain killed Abel. They got Seth in return, so it continued through Seth. Right? And then Seth had Enos, son of God. Then Enos had Mahalalel. Mahalalel had Jared. I'm pretty sure that's how that's the order. And the lineage. And Mahalalel had Jared. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. And Jared had Enoch, and Enoch had, Lamech. I probably got a little wrong, but shit. In fact, I can remember that much, right? But then again, Noah, which was the son of God, the flood came, killed everybody, and it was only Noah left. Which, why was he righteous? Because he was the son of God, the chosen seed line, who had the law, statutes, commandments. When you read Genesis 5, that lineage in Genesis 5, because remember, they had other sons too, and other daughters too. They didn't have goddamn one child. So, again, the lineage you read about in Genesis 5, those are all the men that are listed. Those are the men specifically that did not turn perverse, right? They walked in the commandments of the Lord. They didn't turn crooked and perverted. But everybody else did. Corruption was in all the earth, which is why the Lord brought the flood. Noah was righteous. Noah was the son of God. He had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth. Who did the lineage continue through? Shem, Genesis 9:26. And Shem had his 5 sons. Who did it continue through? Arphaxad, and then Lud. Arphaxad and Salad and Eber, which are the Hebrews. Everybody after Eber, right? So come on, man. Where was I about to go? I was about to go to Luke 3. Luke 3. So these are the sons of God. You can read about the lineage of who the sons of God are. Luke 3, Genesis 11. All right. Basically, the Bible traces the lineage of the sons of God. Luke 3 and 30. I'm gonna get to the point though, which was the son of Enos. So you gotta read it backwards, which was the son of Seth. So Seth had Enos, right? Seth was the son of Adam. Who was Adam? Which was the son of God. So it started with Adam. Adam had Seth. This is the Luke chapter, the entire 3rd chapter, from verse 38 and backwards, is the sons of God. Then Seth had Enos, son of God, right? Previous verse. Enos had Cainan, son of God. Cainan had Mahalalel, son of God. Mahalalel had Jared, sons of God. Enoch. You read about these men in Genesis 5. These are the same sons of God. Methuselah. These are the chosen seed line of men. The Lord has never changed, right? He always had a chosen seed line. Lamech. Who's Lamech's son? Noah. Sons of God, the chosen seed line. Noah had Shem. Shem had 3 sons. It continued through who? Shem. Noah had 3 sons. Shem, Ham, Japheth, but it continued through Shem. Then Shem had 5 sons. It continued through Arphaxad. Arphaxad had Canaan. Canaan had Salah. So you read this in Genesis 11, Genesis 5. You see? And then it all goes back down to Abraham. You continue reading on down. It goes down to Abraham was the son of God. Much for how he was righteous. So you saying they're not an Israelite, that don't make nothing different, man. See? So those are the sons of God in Genesis 6. Right? The chosen seed line of men. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Right? They weren't supposed to marry with other nations, women of other nations. They had the law. Right? And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for he is also flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. Right? We don't live to 90 years no more as we used to. The Lord shrunk it. And it didn't happen immediately. It happened over time. There were giants in the earth in those days. Right? Go into the Hebrew. Giants in the Hebrew. Not Payal. Not feel. But when you go into the root word, right? Let's try going to the Hebrew lexicon. Right? Hebrew lexicon for nafil. Rebels. Apostates. So it says giants, it means fallers. Rebels, apostates. And what is apostate? Someone who falls from their religion. They had the standard, which is the law, statutes, commandments. The law don't change. There's no new thing under the sun. They had the law, it just wasn't written. I guess you could say it was cerebral. It was in their mind. They knew not to eat certain foods. Right? Did not Noah sacrifice? First thing he done, I'm pretty sure, after the flood. So they were apostates. They fell away from the law, statutes, commandments. Fallers fall away. Rebels rebelled against the Most High. See that? It's the same thing with the Israelites today. Don't you see how going back to the days of Adam, nothing's changed for the Israelites? Apostates, man. They turn perverse. Idolatry, fucking adultery, murder. No. Scripture says violence is in the earth in those days, man. Giants. And there were apostates in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which are of old, men of renown. See that? And Yahweh saw that wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. It's the same thing today. The scriptures say there's no new thing under the sun, right? Let's get that. Ecclesiastes 1:9. So where are the giants today? That thing, the thing which have been, the thing in the past, it is that which shall be. It's going on right now. Where the giants at then? And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So where they at? There were no damn 1,200 foot, goddamn 30 foot, goddamn giants as tall as a street light. The sons of God, they were apostates. Giants, apostates. Right? Apostate is one who falls from his religion. And there's other scriptures pertaining to the giants too. But I pray you were edified, man. So that's all we have to get. So there's no such thing as no fallen angel. The angel, the evil angel, does not have the ball. Neither does a good angel to rebel against the Most High. They fear him. Are you insane? The God of the universe, Yahweh, but his son, Yahweh Shah, on his right hand, they fear it. They never rebel against him, man. Never. Okay, in the heavenly realm, there's perfect order. They will never rebel him. Okay? So, Lord willing, you were edified. All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, you see me in the next one. Lord willing, you edified. If you have any questions, drop a comment. Shalom, man.